Amsterdam, Tokyo, Moscow, Rome, and Beijing as well. Every single city that is replete with historical significance possesses its own unique personality and architecture that is recognized all over the world, even by those who have never visited the city in question. Each of these cities serves as the capital. Imagine for a moment that there is a capital that is nearly as large as all of these cities combined, but that nobody is aware of it and that almost no individuals live there. That is Naypyidaw, the official capital of Myanmar, which was once known as Burma until 1989. Myanmar was a British colony until 1989. Naypyidaw, which was formerly known as Yangon, became the new capital of Myanmar after the government of Myanmar began construction on a new capital city in secret in the year 2002. No official explanation has ever been provided for this. There are reports that the administration in question was concerned about an invasion and that the location of the capital city of Yangon, which is in the south and on the shore, was not secure enough. Other theories suggest that the regime desired a neutral capital that was not tied to any of the several ethnic groups that exist in the country. The city is home to more than 900,000 inhabitants, as indicated by the officially recognized population figures. On the other hand, more than 10 years after the unexplained relocation to the new capital, you will hardly find anyone there, with the exception of government employees. It is easy to forget that you are in one of the poorest countries in the world when you are driving around. The contrast with Yangon is enormous. There is reliable electricity, a fast internet connection, and the infrastructure is well established. There are wide streets, a massive indoor train station, and even a 20-lane highway that, according to the few natives who are present, is sometimes used as a runway for airplanes. The city is home to a massive convention center, a water park, golf courses, 3 football stadiums, and several large shopping malls. Additionally, there is a zoo that is enormous. You will find hotels that are either unfinished or unoccupied in several areas of the city, including a Hilton resort that is considered to be state-of-the-art. Moreover, they have constructed a replica of the pagoda that is the largest in the country. TripAdvisor identifies the Apatasanti Pagoda as the most significant landmark in the city. Yet, the pagoda receives a comparatively small number of tourists. There is a high probability that capital cities all over the world are ancient towns, places that have a rich history and are the subject of legends. Nevertheless, there is one country that deviates from the norm, and that is Myanmar, commonly referred to as Burma, whose capital was not completed until the year 2012. It is the only planned city in the country that is located outside of any state or area. Naypyidaw was officially established in 2005 to take the place of Yangon, which had been the country's historic capital for many years. In terms of landmass, it is utterly massive, measuring over 7,054 square kilometers. This is extremely large in comparison to London, the capital of the United Kingdom, which is only 1,569 square kilometers in size. Due to the large amount of space that needs to be filled, one might envision a bustling metropolis that is packed to the brim with people. Yet, this is not the case. Because of this, the population of Naypyidaw is approximately 9 times fewer than that of London, despite the fact that it is geographically 4.5 times larger than London. A little more than 900,000 people call Naypyidaw their home, despite the fact that London is home to approximately 9 million people currently. Because of the absence of inhabitants, the town has become what some people have referred to as a complete ghost town. This means that the streets and the locations of planned marketplaces are empty, and the enormous boulevards that were erected for the multitudes are empty. The former military government of Myanmar relocated the capital from Yangon to a new location in 2005. According to sources, the construction of the new city from the ground up cost an estimated $4 billion, £3.5 billion. Huge highways with 20 lanes each were constructed beside vast streets, with the intention of accommodating a large number of people who did not materialize. Despite this, Naypyidaw has practically everything any person could desire. Things like consistent electricity, while blackouts elsewhere are typical: golf courses, hotels, shopping malls, and scores of restaurants and cafes, which continue to entice people in with the promise of free Wi-Fi. All of these things are very uncommon in other parts of Myanmar. Nonetheless, the billions of dollars that the government has invested in the project have not yet produced the level of fruit that was anticipated. In addition, tourists are not drawn to the city. Rather, they choose to visit other popular destinations in Myanmar, such as Yangon and Mandalay, which are home to cultural and historical centers. In their story for The Guardian in 2015, Matt Kennard and Claire Prevost summed up the vibe of the location as follows. The vast highways are completely empty, and there is a stillness to the air. There is no movement. There are wonderful sections that have been designated for particular companies, such as the hotel sector, which is visited by travelers only infrequently. With that being said, Myanmar is not yet finished with its efforts to make Naypyidaw a force to be reckoned with, and new initiatives may boost the tourist boom even further. This was the first foreign office that was allowed to open in Naypyidaw, and it was officially launched by China in the year 2017. It was the interim liaison office for China. Since then, Bangladesh and Malaysia have both inked agreements that assure them that they would also establish embassies in the city, with the goal that the movement and recognition will eventually reach the people who will one day populate the wide avenues of Naypyidaw. It is hoped that this will happen. It is referred to be a ghost city by the newspapers. Journalists write home to report a gigantic deserted capital that is 4 times the size of London, littered with highways that are 20 lanes wide, and staffed by just a skeleton workforce consisting of bureaucrats and cleaners. An enormous film set, or an abandoned Disneyland without attractions, was the comparison that one reporter made to describe the situation. Naypyidaw, however, is not what it appears to be. At this very moment, Myanmar, which was formerly known as Burma, is on the verge of entering an exciting period in its history. The inauguration of the nation's first democratically elected president in 2011 brought an end to the dictatorial rule that had been exercised by the previous military dictatorship. As a result of the opening of the borders, this formerly exclusive state is finally experiencing a boom in tourism. Some of the most notably gorgeous locations in Myanmar now have the atmosphere of hip backpacker cities. However, it appears that nobody is presently going to Naypyidaw. Of course, the reason for this is that the city is not yet considered complete. During the year 2006, this purpose-built metropolis took over as the capital of the nation, replacing Yangon. Its formal name, Naypyidaw, translates to abode of the king, and its design demonstrates all of the characteristics that are characteristic of a walled citadel that is occupied by a dictator. A rumored $3 to $4 billion have already been invested in the project since development began in 2002. Yet outside of the ministry zones, block after block of the downtown districts are still largely comprised of grass. Do like this video and share your thoughts in the comments section below. If you want to learn more, then do hit that subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching.